Yo, what's up? What up, burger time? Alfredo Chris, what up, dude? Droops. Devin, yo. What up, gamer, dude? Freeze, what's up, my guy? All right, you guys ready for this shit, bro? I'm gonna be streaming a little bit longer today. We're gonna be doing the earnings call, so I'll be here for that. And we're gonna be here intraday, man. Have a long day because there's a lot to cover on the market and AMC, obviously. So that's fun. But dude, we are looking for a reversal here in the short term. Typically on earnings, and I've said this before, but when there is a massive amount of shorting done prior to that month, you will typically have good earnings, hence this downward pressure. And it's all really priced in, guys. Like, it's, people know what's going to go down here on earnings, so I have a good feeling about what's to come here after hours. The SPY is looking strong. We just bounced back. We might come back down and do a little bit of a double bottom. I was working with this pattern back here. This is January 24th. Okay, so it's that Monday that we rose 20 bucks here on the SPY. We went from 420 all the way to 440, I believe. And that was like, it was just very, very dramatic. A dramatic change in price back here. Okay. It was like a V reversal, and we are looking to probably do something similar here, man. Unless we keep dropping, guys, I do see a reversal today, but there is a massive gap fill here on the SPY. So, we're gonna have to come back and get that. Typically, these gap fills are filled very early. They don't really wait typically for like, for example, this one right here, very quick, come in and out. Right here, gap fill, in and out, gap fill. This one right here, obviously on an uptrend, you kind of come back and get it later. But I think this is different because this is our first gap fill on a downtrend that we've had here in a while. There's a gap fill right here. You can tell you we got it right away the day after, and then there's a massive gap fill right here, so we're probably gonna come get it. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what we're doing here with Amy, bro. Guys, I'm excited for earnings. I'm excited. Not necessarily, like, even if we don't beat earnings, dude, like, you guys have to remember that anything that really happens on earnings, like, whether it's like like, if it's mediocre, like, we're expecting a small beat or a small miss, whatever's going to happen afterwards, guys, remember, there's a catalyst typically when the price is this low that will act, remember, as that one news catalyst that actually works, okay, to the upside, bring the price up for one. Because typically the catalysts don't work that way, right? We get a bullish catalyst and the price comes back down, right? But when the technicals look, primed for a rally, which they do right now. I mean, guys, we are coming back here in the zone, okay, where again these price levels are vulnerable, okay, to the market. People like to go in when the price is cheap, and right now we are, I mean, guys, we hit 12.60, so that is just, that's something else, dude. You know, and then after that, guy, there has to be a breather, right, to the upside at that point. You can't just come down forever. I mean, again, these guys have their own agenda, and we just kind of have to see what's in store, right? But right now, what things are looking like and what I have for the weekly scenario is some upside here. I did a 38% increase from, I believe it was $13.50. So that would have been around the $18 level. So it is like $17.75, something like that, for earnings. And then they would bring us back down. Okay. I don't think, again, it could happen, but at this level, we do need a steady climb up, just like we did back here. Okay. Before going up again. And I think this is going to be that first step for a bullish trend reversal. Yeah, I'll bring it up here on the screen as well, to show you guys the weekly scenario. Let's see, where is it at? Okay, here we go. All right, so here's the website, okay, for those of you that are not familiar with it. It's tradingwithemotions.com. I post the weekly scenarios on there. So I'm going to bring up the current scenario, the current week scenario, weekly scenario. Okay. Oh, look at that. Bring right above it. Here it is. So what we do, we got all these tabs right here. And I guess we can, just for a sec, I'll take away the chart. There you go. So we go on the scenarios tab here. Here's your weekly scenario. This thing is like, yo, it's got a fucking... What's up, Stankster? There you go. Okay, we'll zoom in on it a little bit. And this is what we got, all right, for the week. So again, there is a little bit of upside right now. I do expect a reversal in the short term. That's actually going to be a bullish thing, guys. If there is a reversal here towards the end of the day, we should be looking for positive earnings, so in the positive direction typically, because when, and again, this is not always, but a lot of the times when there are positive earnings, they will short the price down weeks prior, the day of. They'll also short it, and then they'll bring it up towards the end of the day to rack up premiums for calls. People are trying to get in on calls. So, you know, right now we're seeing a bit of both, really. I was looking at the option chain when we had this small rally here from 1265 to 1330, and the calls were going up like very, very drastically. The $20 calls, premiums, like they were, I think they were at like $10, and then they went all the way up to like 16. So I mean, yeah, the volatility, guys, is huge. Implied volatility is huge on earnings. You guys have to watch out for that, because I don't think this is going to be an Ivy Crush earnings, just because it is Monday. Consider that as well. It is Monday. There are still, you know, Ivy Crush kind of works best, you know, when, you know, midweek earnings, or, you know, Thursday earnings. That's when they'll kind of Ivy Crush it. But not really for this. I think the option chain is fair right now. It's like fair for Amy, for sure. Oh shit, yeah, what the fuck? There's nothing on the screen. Ha. There you go, bro. So this right here, you can tell right off the bat, and this is one of the scenarios that we had, that the price action here is following these points of interest, right? Instead of going up, though, we're trading sideways. So the pressure here is being suppressed. But do you guys see this portion of it right here? This is upside, okay? Just like this was as well. And I do believe that we are going to get a reversal here. Again, if we don't, guys, if we have terrible earnings, this thing is going to drop, and it's going to drop like, and I'm talking like we have to like miss by a fuck ton. Like, this can't be like a small miss and then we get shorted to $8 or whatever. No, it has to be a terrible miss, and then there also has to be a bad catalyst, right? So, you know, like a fucking offering or some bullshit. Like, I doubt, you know, that would be the case. I hope that's not the case, but you guys do have to keep that in the back of your mind, just in case, with a potential, you know, and then also depending on what the market does, right? But things are looking okay. I again, guys, a lot of shorting. This thing is due for a fucking reversal, dude. It's insane. I don't think anybody, guys, that's done TA on AMC or cycle analysis, whatever you want to call it, I don't think anybody was really expecting this much of an attack suppression here on AMC, because it hasn't really been done before on, you know, on these prior runs. Like, this is the first time that we've seen, you know, back to back, without a breather, right, to the upside, shorting like this, dude. I mean, guys, look at this shit. Anywhere you fucking try and put this, man, there's going to be, okay, like, for example, right here. Okay, how many instances did we see you know, some volatility involved, right? Right here, there's volatility. Here, okay, here, and then here, right? On this thing, man, there's fucking nothing. I mean, there's maybe one, okay? One. Yeah, like, dude, one right here. This range, there's a little bit of buying, but nothing else, man. It's just been suppressed. And you guys know that the cycle, okay? This is exactly how the cycle works. The cycle is used, so typically on the beginning and the end of the cycle, you will see a trend reversal, okay? But in between, right, you see suppression. So the blue going into the red, you're going to see a lot of sideways pressure because the algorithm is working over time, right? The dark pools are taking advantage of the price action. So that's what we're looking at right now. We're just waiting for that reversal. Hopefully that, you know, this does end up playing inverse. We get to start climbing up again. But here, I'll give you guys an example of what's going on right now. So based off of the cycle, okay, we are in this red portion, okay, and the previous ones have all been shorted, okay? Most of them have, except, and I'm talking about the, so right here, this November, or not November, I'm sorry, December, this one played out like, dude, it's fucking identical as fuck. Look at this shit. So this one, I mean, look at that shit, guys. This one was like too perfect. Okay, this is part of the cycle, guys. Okay, macro direction, remember, is what matters the most. So this is why I have the cycle curve here, so that you guys kind of look at it from this perspective instead. But sometimes we do take the patterns and sort of analyze what's going on, because, well, it's relevant. Here's again the cycle, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but and I know I haven't been updating the cycle as much, just because, again, things are looking to shift, and then once that does happen, we're gonna have a new cycle. Okay, it hasn't quite happened yet because it's been just the markets have been very volatile, and we are at a point where things can shift very quickly. So, but I mean, you guys can tell right off the bat, guys, that this is playing out very closely to the current cycle. All right, and we are starting to come back down. Now there is a on the previous cycles, at least, this was noise, so it was highlighted yellow. When there is noise, it's highlighted yellow. And this was unexpected. All right, back here, there was a catalyst. I believe it was GME that brought the price up, if I'm not mistaken. So same thing here. Okay, we have earnings coming up, and typically this will be noise in the algorithm, okay, because it's unexpected, especially when they do move it around. That's up to AMC, so not really the algorithm, unless, right, they're in on it as well. And then, well, at that point, you know, that's also a conspiracy, you know, that they're in on it. But I'm not going to really get into that. I'm just going to... We're not there yet, okay? We're not there yet, guys. But things are looking very similar here to the red portion for sure. We're just gonna have to wait for that shift, dude, and that typically does happen towards the end. Okay, back here, you can see that it was sideways pressure until the end of it right here, and we started going up. Okay. Is the price not updating? Should be. I mean, yeah, and also, guys, the SPY, I mean, bro, we got to come back up here and get this gap fill. It's a pretty big one too. I mean, yeah, dude, that's fucking huge. To the 415 area, it's got to come back and get it at some point. And I think we will get it soon. Doesn't matter. Even if it's not today, it should be in the next couple of days. It's this week is probably the most important week of the year. We are at a critical point here. And I think this is the major deciding factor here in the long term on the SPY and just the market on whether we're going to have a trend reversal or not. And if, I mean, guys, we're on this, we're making a giant fucking wedge right now. Let's go on the monthly and see how it looks. Yeah, dude, look at this fucking wedge. A nasty fucking wedge. That's why I think May is bullish, because you have to come back here. Okay, and then this, again, you just kind of trade sideways or you bust through. There's really no way to see this, but I mean, it looks very similar to the COVID correction too, where it just came back down and then it just melted up. All right. There's Amy. What up, Tickles? Jimbo, that was L'Impatrice. It's a French band. They're funky as hell. I'm not losing hope, man, on AMC. So we've talked about the next point of interest. Again, I don't believe that we are going to just go up in the short term like we had seen right on the projector, because we saw the downtrend start right here, and then remember that if things started to come out and not come back into that channel quickly, we would have an extension in the cycle, and I think we're experiencing that right now. So the point of interest, guys, is not obviously the end of the month here going into May or anything. There's likely going to be some upside in the short term, but you're going to see something like this where it's just going to be sideways pressure for a little bit. You know, it might look like this, honestly. Like, it might be something like that, okay? And it's going to suck, but it's part of the cycle. You know, some people are going to tell you that there is a possibility, right, that we will come back up and then sort of hang out here for a bit. Sure, it's a possibility, but we haven't necessarily seen that play out when the technicals look like this before. There's always been some sort of upward pressure, you know, first. And the technicals do have to make sense, guys. You know, back here, when we were making this giant flag, okay, we were all kind of confused because we're like, how did they even fucking short us, right? Like this pattern, right? We all said, yo, this is an arc. Like, this is a parabolic arc. And these are typically bullish, right? They set up and they go. But then they continued to short us, right? But what was their leverage here? Their leverage was that by taking us down here, they were able to prolong the price action for a bit and then later create this macro flag pattern, right? So we might not see it in the short term. You might think like, oh, you know, there's like, what can we make here, right? But if the price just were to come up, guys, like this, you know, what technicals would you be able to call, you know, this random event that occurs? Now, the only way this would happen is, again, if there's like a major catalyst that is unexpected, like if there's like a dividend or something that exposes naked shorting, stuff like that, then I'd say, okay, at that point, you know, they will not be able to control that. Everybody's going to jump in for sure. But we're not seeing any of that right now. So that would be the only way. Okay? The only way we would get something like that. And I think, again, that this is a puppet show. I think that there's a higher institution controlling the price action. And they probably are working with specific, you know, people to make this happen, right? To, you know, there's been a bunch of catalysts, guys, that have happened very close to these points of interest. And sometimes that's a bit concerning, okay? Again, it's just speculation, but for example, right here, September 30th, this was 2 days early from the point of interest that we were tracking, which was October 5th. October 5th was supposed to be a run-up, okay, based on the cycle, okay, based on the way that they cover these shares, how they hedge their positions, okay. That was supposed to be a day in which they released some of those shares, and Adam Aron decided to exercise some shares 2 days prior to that, okay. So that's one. And there's been a couple of more where it's just like, why is it so close to these points of interest? And same with GameStop, dude. GameStop, there's been a lot of shit. When Ryan Cohen bought BBBY shares, right? And like they were like extremely bullish about that or whatever. That hit on a point of interest as well. So again, that's a little bit alarming, but I mean, yeah, guys, there's stuff that we are not going to be aware of that is happening behind the door sometimes. Again, it's just speculation, but why is it happening so close to these points of interest? I mean, it goes two ways. They either know how the fucking cycle works, or they're being paid off to release everything or shift it around according to their agenda. There's only two ways this can go, for sure. Remember, this is the danger zone line here. Cannot cross the upside or else this will melt the fuck up. That's what we want, right? But that's what they don't want. They don't want to melt the price up. Let's draw some lines, bro. Oh, yeah. Also, the, where is it? That regression cycle. Yo. Okay. I don't know why I didn't even update this. Guess what this is? This is a magnet that we're reaching as well. This is the point of interest that we're looking at here for the 4 month. This is a 2 month, 3 month, and 4 month cycle combined to make basically this pattern that's reoccurring. In the way that these arrows are pointing, if they're flipped, mirrored, both typically play out here, and we've seen that happen over and over again here with AMC. I always take this pattern right here, which is 3 months, I believe 3 months apart, and this is, again, just an example that I bring up all the time so you guys can see how this works, right? But it's green, red, blue, and then you see the inverse happen back here, okay? So green, red, blue, okay, right here. And this pattern is basically repeating itself, starting over from, you know, back here, right? Green, red, blue. And you see the same thing happening. These act like little magnets, right? It brings the price action up very quickly by that specific date. So here what we have is a smaller regression trend, which is in between this larger macro regression trend. And this could go two ways. It either comes up here to this point of interest, which comes up to this level of 25, or it comes to this magnet up here, which is at 16. And guys, these do clock over, okay? So it's not just, you know, let me come here and bounce very quickly. It can, but typically they do clock over and come back down, which the level we're looking at right now is 18 for this week, and that happens to be on the 12th here. So who knows? We're either gonna, a magnet's either gonna work in the positive direction or not, or it's gonna come down here. But see, that's what I was talking about, is like, on this regression trend, how do you bring the price from $13 down 50% all the way to 7? Like, that just doesn't really make sense after being shorted for this long. Like, bro, AMC, man, this isn't a cheap fucking meme stock that people forget about. No, there's a fuck ton of money on this shit, man. There's a fuck ton of money on this shit. What up, Alex? How will quarter one earnings affect the price? I mean, that's the thing, dude. No one knows what's going to happen on earnings. We're hopefully expecting the price action to go up, but nobody knows, dude. Nobody knows. All I know is that there's a point of interest right here, and we're waiting for that, right? You can tell right here, guys, here's the green. You come into this channel, little magnet. Remember the one we just talked about this morning? Okay, comes back up here to green. This regression trend. And same here, guys, see? And now, consider this. These are, there's a little bit of a gap, okay? So you always have to give yourself a couple of dates in between. To be tracking these little magnets that we have, right? You can't just look at, you know, March 18th, it's gonna happen right here. No, this one happened on the 15th, right? Bounced on the 15th and then it went. Same here, right? This one is on the 15th and it happened on the 14th. So sometimes they're a couple of days apart, which is okay. And here, let me just show you guys why this matters. So you guys don't think like, yo, this guy's just fucking drawing arrows without, like, you know. No, look at this shit. 62 days apart. What do we talk about the cycle? It's 2 months apart. There's 2 months, okay? All right. And then we have, okay, from red to red is going to be the 3 month. Okay, so we talk about how this is a 2 month, 3 month, and 4 month cycle combined. Okay, that's why it's super special. So there's 3 months right there, red to red, okay? And then we have a 4 month, right, from red to blue, right here, okay? 4 months right there. And you can literally move this shit around, and it will line up with everything. See, red to blue, right there. And again, right here is red to green, or blue to red. Okay, and then we also have, let's see, red to red. What is red to green? 93 days. 93 days, 93 days. Okay, see, there we go. And then red to red, right there, 93 days. Just so you guys don't think I'm just like, you know, this guy's just drawing arrows. Nah, man. This shit makes sense. It does. It's how, this is one of the ways that that I track the cycle as well. It kind of opens up larger macro points of interest that are happening by also taking into account the 2 month cycle and the 3 month cycle, right? is the... Oh, here's that. Okay, channel. Here's that parallel channel that we were talking about, okay? And this one is very narrow, right? So you got some right here. Room for error, which is okay. And that's exactly what's happening right here. So you get a little bit of downside, then it comes back into the channel, right? That's kind of what we're looking for here. Mats, what's up, dude? Again, man, with the predictions, I'm looking for a bullish earnings call. I'm looking for the price to go back up, potentially hit 17, 18 this week. I could be wrong, right? There's not. That's just a projection that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a V reversal, and hopefully we get that here in the short term. We'll see. Kind of depends on what the market does. Okay, so the SPY is looking to cross intraday lows again. Might do a little double bottom here, guys, because this reversal here was pretty strong. And I think they're just burning premiums right now at this point. So to me, it seems like a double bottom setup might start to kick things off again. You know? We'll see, though. Let's see this. Cycle. See how many points of interest we can track here with the cycle tracker. Okay, this is the one that I was okay. And I will be streaming the earnings call. Okay, it's at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Central where I'm at. So you guys better be here for that. So we can rally with the family, all right? Yes, I am loving the Bitcoin dump right now. Why? Why am I loving the Bitcoin dump? I'll tell you why. Yesterday I was looking, well, I've been looking at this for a while, but you know, Bitcoin looks obviously a lot like AMC on the macro. When you take its pattern, right, and you make it into a fractal, right? So we're taking Bitcoin's pattern, and we are, and I use the 3-day on Bitcoin. Do I have it? Nope, I don't have it on this. Which one did I use? Bruh, what the fuck? Where are you? Oh, here we go. So this is what I was using, okay? for the Bitcoin tracker, or Bitcoin tracker, for the pattern. Okay, so AMC's pattern, this is made into a fractal, right? Because AMC's chart obviously is following, you know, the crypto, the whole market really is following this same pressure, right? AMC, this right here, happened right here, guys. It went up to 34 and then it started to come back down. This is, again, a fractal. It's stretched. Okay, so you guys can see exactly what's going on. This could be a setup here for Bitcoin. It could start reversing right around this range. I posted this yesterday. Bitcoin was barely hitting this level. It was at 33,000. Right now it's at 31. If the SPY decides to just start climbing up here in the next couple of hours, going into tomorrow when we have a bullish rally, this might be the confirmation that we need for a Bitcoin, a short-term Bitcoin rally. This might be a spring setup. It might set us back up here, and you know, we might come all the way up here to 50,000 again before coming back down. Or I'm sorry, not 50,000. We might get really close to 60,000 if this does play out, right? If we have a similar setup. I think there's just, I don't know, man. To me, it doesn't seem like we are ready for because guys, if Bitcoin starts falling below this $29,000 level, it is gonna keep falling, because it's tested this level back here. Okay, it is a major level of support where you know, that might be the level it springs up on. But you can tell here with AMC, we came right below this level and then we did a V reversal and it was a nasty rip up. So it's exactly what's happening right now with Bitcoin. Okay, look at that. Would not be surprised if the levels here are pretty fucking similar fib wise. Obviously, guys, here it would, you know, and this is the thing. This would be a triple top setup, not a head and shoulders, because head and shoulders, I mean, it would have to be like down here if it was a head and shoulders. So it would look like that, you know. But yeah, this could be a triple bottom fake out here where it goes up, comes close to that level, and then they just rug pull it, you know. It could be. And that's why we're tracking it, man. I am working on a section for the website, just so you guys are aware. And I was working on it yesterday. I didn't finalize and post it yet, but it is going to have a. It's not going to be a scenarios tab. It's gonna be called Cycle Tracker. And it'll have basically all the meme stocks, a couple of cryptocurrencies on there, and their cycles tracking. So just like we did with BBIG, okay, it's the same thing. You're gonna have there's a bunch on that list. I'll share it with you. I'll share with you the ones that I'm currently tracking. Just the names. I'm not going to post the charts here or anything. I have them again saved here. Where are they? Okay, yeah, so the ones that I'm currently tracking, I have OCGN, Mullen. I have, I don't know if you guys remember support.com. Support.com had a, after they did their, they got acquired by Green Holding something, GRRE. GREE is the ticker symbol. And they've been shorted to the ground, dude. Those guys are due for a rip. I got Virgin Galactic as well. Skills. Okay. Those guys have been shorted to the ground as well. There's a bunch that I have on there that I will be posting, and their cycles tracking. Okay. So it'll have a section. It's going to look very similar to what happened with that scenario on AMC that I posted earlier, right? Where you kind of see the price action go up. It's got a little animation, stuff like that. So that'll be posted on the website, and I'll be updating that shit every week for you guys, okay? So And I'll have a section where you can sign up so that you get like reminders, right? Send you emails and shit. Be like, yo, I posted this. Click on it, you know. Click on that shit. All right. Oh, Milo, thank you, man. I did not even see that. I'm sorry. What up, TWE? Amy looking good as always. Just remember, fam, a short is a guaranteed future buy. Eventually, yeah, you are correct. You are correct. A short is a future buy. Remember, the price action gets reflected inversely, right, in the future, depending on what the institutions do in the past. Okay, and that is exactly how the cycle works. So yes, Milo is right. Thank you, my guy. Look at this, guys. This is another version of the cycle tracker here, okay? And guess what? Obviously picking up what happened back here in May, earnings. So you can tell that here on the macro version of that, we do have this entire thing playing out here. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. I want to know what you guys think is going to happen. What do you guys think is going to happen on earnings? Leave it in the comments. Spam the chat. Give me a price action. What do you think? Where do you think we going? Where are we going on Tuesday? Tomorrow. What is your prediction on AMC? Trade in the trees. All right. Dang. Okay. Trading Whitney 18. It's Trevor 16. 100 before June. Okay. 25. Okay. Damn, down. That is a one predict. You think we mow ass? Oh wow. Okay. Hey, there's no wrong answer until it happens, right? But we will see. Based off of previous earnings, we have seen AMC get shorted. But again, there is that one time where things just do not play out according to, according to history. And that might be this earnings call, guy. That might be this earnings call where things actually start playing up to the upside. And the indicator that I'm looking at is, the amount of shorting pressure that they've done here for over a month. That is my indicator. Where the fuck are you releasing these shorts? When are you gonna release those? With the amount of dark pool here, I think that they definitely have a a time in which they have to release those, and I do think that it'll be right around this range. So we haven't seen something like this, guys, happen on Amy before. Not like this. I mean, even right here, guys, we had, you know, you had the opportunity, right? Right here to come back. Right, from 25 all the way to 35, basically. 10 bucks. Same right here. 20 bucks to 32. Okay, there is nothing right here. Absolutely nothing. Here, I'll do something, guys, and this is just for those that were interested on one of the points of interest we were tracking for BBIG. I would not, in my opinion, and this is not financial advice, but I would not touch BBIG right now. Why? Because the level that we were tracking on that point of interest hit. And I'm talking about the price target. It hit it. Where is the bars pattern? See that? Okay, and you already know that fucking TradingView just loves to fucking shift around my thing here. Okay. You guys see that? So fib levels are very important here. Okay. You got one right there. You got your low right there. And then you have this, what we're trying to do here, a double bottom, but then it just went all the way up, right? So we were about 2 days early on this point of interest tracking. Now watch this. Here are the first two, high and low, and then this is that low that we got. From here, it goes all the way up to $4. And then what happens? It gets shorted back down. There might be an opportunity here towards the end of the week. I don't know if on Friday or Monday, probably Monday, because of options. And then this thing gets shorted back down. I don't think that it could potentially come back up, but you guys have to look at BBIG this way. The thing about BBIG is that this play here, just like AMC, just like Mullen, just like all of these other meme stocks, okay, they have a massive run and they have runs in between, okay? But they typically do get shorted to really low levels, okay? And I'm talking about these, like, this is more of a mediocre squeeze play. It's not, you can't compare BBIG to GameStop or AMC. It doesn't have the same amount of hype, okay? That is just how these work. This is a prime example of comparing this to a stock like SOS, right? SOS, same fucking thing. If we bring SOS up, and guys, I was in on this shit for a long time, but this thing went from 16 bucks, had the same thing happen, where in between you had these tiny runs, and then, you know, they kept happening over and over again. People would say, yo, like, this is it, we're gonna go up, and yo, this is it, we're gonna go up, and then this thing just went all the way down to, 38 cents. So, again, me tracking this point of interest for BBIG was specifically just to show you guys when, you know, it's an entry exit position where it's like, okay, things come up here and then they will come back down. So just based off of this trend and comparing it to the other cycles, I think BBIG is later in the game, right? It went up in August, okay, compared to, you know, AMC, SOS, they went up way earlier. GameStop, January, and then going into June as well with Amy on the big run. but you know, BBIG's big run happened here towards September, so it's a little bit behind. All right. So I am not going to be in on this right now. There might be a run here again towards the end of the week or Monday, but then after that, I think they are going to take that opportunity to short it again. All right, Amy, what are we doing? All right, Amy is setting up. Okay, hopefully for a reversal here. The SPY is coming back up. So it looks like the SPY might be doing that double bottom that we talked about. Dividend confirmed. Sure, man, but sometimes you got to look at stuff like that. Kind of like a buy the rumor, sell the news. That's how I look at it a lot with these plays. Guys, I can't, and the reason I'm sharing this with you again, it could go both ways. Where yes, BBIG goes up and it does explode, sure, but you also have to have a little bit of, you know. Guys, this happened with Mullen, right? Remember, we talked about how, you know, as it was coming back up, people were calling for $16. They were calling for these crazy levels. And we talked about, you know, let's compare this to previous cycles that have happened. And let's compare them in how they trade against each other on other plays. So we used Clover Health for that. And what happened? The play basically played out the same, right? It started to come back up, hit a level, and then it started to get shorted all the way back down to $1. So I think it's a similar setup with BBIG. I think it'll have its run, just maybe not right now. It's had too many spikes, and I think again those are the points of interest that we track, because the hedge funds have to release those shares typically by that date, right? But I'm just sharing what's happened in the past with those meme stocks. They typically do take advantage of them. You know, they did with SOS, dude, and SOS hurt, man. SOS was nasty. It was a nasty, like, it was one of the first that came into play right after what happened with GameStop. You had a lot of crypto stocks go up at that time. I remember there was any SOS, you had support.com, all of these started to rally, and they all got shorted to the ground, okay, at those levels. So I think BBIG came later in the game, and it unfortunately, I do believe that things are going to play out similarly. That's just how they do it, guys, with these stocks. I'm not trying to be a bearish, you know, thing. Again, here we track mostly AMC, but I'm sharing with you I'm sharing with you what's happened with other stocks in the past related to this in the same sector, and typically, you know, with here I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'll pull up any. This one was another one that a lot of people were in on. This was a squeeze play, okay? And look at this shit, okay? Okay. We compare this to BBIG. Watch this shit. Brody. Alright, so you guys can see their similarities a bit. Right now, Any is way older. I mean, this guy has been around for a while, right? BBIG is a newer stock. It just kind of came into play. And when this was happening, right, we were at really low levels here on Any, right? It was at $1, and it went all the way up to 12, okay? And people were I was bullish right here too, man. I was like, this thing is doing like a reverse wedge, basically, okay? There's a name for this wedge, but it's not commonly known as much, but it is basically a megaphone, okay? And I personally thought, yeah, we were going to come up here, but it did the complete opposite, and then it got shorted all the way back down to $1 to its original spot. Now, BBIG hasn't been quite there yet. Even if there was a continuation here on a run, okay, what we have to consider is what is its previous low. It hasn't hit its previous low yet. It hasn't crossed it yet. And the previous low it has is $1.19. Okay? Hasn't came close. The pattern that we're tracking right now does suggest it comes back down and then bounces from there. Okay, watch. See? And this is GameStop right here, guys. It is highly correlated with GameStop's price action. Again, I'm gonna move this because TradingView is really just crazy with this. Here are the points of interest again that we were tracking, and this was a little bit early. Okay. Now, what level does this come down to? I mean, not saying that it would come all the way down to 70 cents or anything, right? But this started off. This January 2021 started off at around $1.19. So if we did come back down, you know, to 60 cents, just like SOS did, okay, they shorted the fuck out of that stock to 30 cents, then it would have its breather and come back, you know, come back up again. But typically after rallies, again, they will take advantage of these meme stocks that aren't as known, don't have as much momentum as AMC and GameStop. All right, SPY's coming back down. Amy's still trading sideways. Double bottom or some shit, bro. Okay, so something to consider as well, and this is a, you know, I said I was going to do this with AMC after we kind of figure out what's going to happen here, right? We know that there is probably going to be a continuation here in the cycle, right? That is what we're expecting. We're expecting this to come back up and then probably come back down towards the end of the week because we did cross multiple levels of support. Today we just crossed a major level of support, obviously. Okay, so this will more than likely extend the cycle until the next point of interest, which is, you know, that end of July time, and that is the midpoint of the this. Let me pull it up real quick. What I call the magnetic parallel channel, okay, which is 120 days in length, so 4 months. It's the same theory we used here for this cycle right here, where they covered their shares all the way up to 30. Okay, and now they brought us back down into the channel, and then now we have potential to come back in toward, you know, until the end of the month. Now after this, we're either going to be in this channel, okay, we could potentially stay down in this channel as well, do something like this. And what this does is now we set up a point of interest right in between, okay, because every mid phase here has a run up, okay? You see it right here, right here, right here, okay, and right here on the macro picture. And in between these, there's also run-ups in the middle, okay? You guys can see that. So there's one point of interest automatically at the end of July going into August. That was the first one. And then if this sets up to be a projector, the next one would be towards the end of September. These are the only ones I'm tracking right now, okay? This is again how the cycle works. That is what we're going to be currently tracking. I'm not going to be talking about anything else because there's absolutely no reason to. We have to wait and see what the price action is going to do here. But I do believe that we are going to be in this zone here for a little while. until the price action settles down. Okay. And you know, with that being said, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys where I think the price action is more vulnerable in between, and right now we do have a point of interest here coming up this week, which will be earnings here in the next couple of hours, and we'll see what happens here. But I am looking for a increase in price action. Okay. Now after earnings, we also have earnings on Tuesday with Coinbase. All right, and this was one of the ones that I was going to bring up just because Coinbase has been shorted to the fucking ground as well. And now this typically will be a catalyst also for Bitcoin, or just the crypto market in general. Coinbase is the main broker, right, for cryptocurrency. It's the leading broker for cryptocurrency, and the earnings call here is going to be huge on Coinbase. So it's one of the ones that I'm currently tracking as well. If they have really good earnings, this does have potential to spring up and cause a very drastic increase in price. But it could go both ways. If it has terrible earnings, then we could be, shorted a lot more as well. So keeping an eye out for Coinbase for sure. Yeah, man, Coinbase is down 18, almost 20% for the day. Hasn't even had earnings yet. I mean, guys, what the fuck? Let's see what this does here, because we got earnings on the chart. Here we had bad earnings. What happened? What happened with bad earnings, guys? Pumped the fuck out of the price. Bad earnings, short it. Okay, what is happening right here? And this is why I'm pretty bullish on AMC today, because this is exactly what we're dealing with. We're dealing with they're shorting the price down because they know that they're gonna have to they're taking the opportunity, really. People are taking the opportunity, and this includes not only institutions, guys, that are doing this, but there are retail that do this. There are other shorts that are bringing the price down, as well as pumping the price up before earnings. And typically you see this happen on a big earnings event. So whether it's really bad earnings or whether it's really good earnings, you will see that drastic price action happening in the month prior, really. So you can see this is their bad earnings right here, and they pump the price up and then they bring it back down, right? So I think, to me, this seems like it would be an event where we would get good earnings after this massive short attack. But I guess we'll see, man. I believe Coinbase doesn't have as many. It's a lower float stock, so it has a lot of room to increase. Kind of like the blocks in which shares trade is higher. It's kind of like GameStop. Like GameStop, it can go from 100 to 20 or to 120 very quickly. Whereas like a stock like AMC, it's a little bit harder to do that, just because, well, really it has to do with the shares outstanding, and the float, right? So the fact that it's down here, you know, this can easily come back up very quickly, you know, from 88 to, or 84 that it's at right now. This thing could spring up very quickly, you know, to like 160 in a week. And it is on Tuesday. I think Tuesday after hours is what it is. So, you know, let's say it did something like this. I mean, that would just be insane, but this thing has been shorted to the ground, guys. From 430 bucks all the way down to 80. That is insane. For Coinbase. Like fucking Coinbase we're talking about here. Thank you, man. Common sense investor. I appreciate you, bro. First bump. Awesome. Yo, make sure you slam that like button, man. If you enjoy the stream. The stream algorithm would appreciate it. You just like smash that ass, you know? You slap that ass, slap that like button. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Spank that. Amy's looking good. Amy's looking good right now. We got our little infamous arc pattern at play right now. Let's pull it up. Call it the infamous arc pattern because it is infamous. And we will track a couple of points of interest here. It will play out for the upside or downside. See how they're playing out. I love using patterns, man, intraday, because they do show us points of interest. Now, points of interest, remember, it could be inverse or identical. It doesn't have to be. For example, right here, prime example. Here's your arc, right? Point of interest right here, playing out completely inverse, right? But you're lining everything up, right? You're lining the run-up up, the arc pattern. Everything is lining up, and then you have this playing out inverse, right? Now, where you could see like clear points of interest is where there is a drastic increase in price. So right here, I would say right here would be the next point of interest, okay? Ignore the blue phase, and then I would say right around here is the next point of interest, and then obviously right here is the next point of interest. So there's there's 3 so far that I could think of. I am going to make those boxes that we do, because this is implying volatility, right? It is. All right, there's 3. And I am going to... I'm going to average these out because we don't know if it's going to go up or down. All right. There we go. There's our 3 points of interest. We'll get that guy out the way. And we will bring these up a bit later and check on them, see how they're doing. Just put them up there for reference. A test. You lick the like button, man. Hey, get it, boy. Get it, pulling a Rico. We're here. We need Rico licking candles too. That always works. It works really well. Let's look at the SPY as well. I will pull up that pattern we were looking at here intraday. That was January 21st. Now, you guys see right off the bat, when we track these volatile days, we are looking at the points of interest. Okay, we're not looking at the pattern to play out identical or anything. Here's that pattern. You can tell again right off the bat. What do we see? Inverse right here. Point of interest playing out inverse, right? Here's another point of interest that's playing out inverse right now. That is all really that it's telling you. Actually, the thing about patterns and why they're cool is it really minimizes your risk going in on a trade sometimes, because, you know, when you line these up, you can kind of, like, some people take both positions, whether you're doing calls or shares, whatever, puts, whatever. You can really minimize your risk. If you know that there's volatility, you can make money on both sides. It's buying calls and puts. And then one is going to increase in volatility very drastic, basically erasing the amount that you paid for the other contracts. And you can kind of work with it too, for sure. We'll see what happens here, because there is a lot of upside, so potentially this could be a massive short attack, or it could be a reversal here, and we start going up again. It does look like a double bottom setup to me. And the bulls really like this $399 level. I mean, guys, shit, we fucking hit $399. That's insane. It's almost 1 o'clock. Let's see how the EMA cross is looking here. So 1 hour, I like to look at the 6. Oh, look at that. We have not crossed a EMA. We haven't had an EMA cross here in a while. Oh, wow. How about the daily? Oof. Okay. Yeah, I mean, green is next, baby. You know, we get this V reversal here. That would be very nice. I also look at the HMA. HMA is very, very good to look at. Whenever, typically when you cross the HMA, which is the whole moving average, in between, it's almost like a cloud. Acts as a cloud, right? Where, you know, right now it's indicating, you know, that there is a bearish trend, which there is. And once it comes close, typically it will act as resistance, so you will touch it very quickly. You'll come in, come back down, kind of like what happened back here. You'll ride the waves. But it does start to indicate upside. And then once you fully cross through it, you will have that rally, right? Right here. Actually, our setup is looking very similar to this from the start here a bit. That even the those natural fibs, guys, right here. See, up, bottom. Okay, one level right there. Level, 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 level. This level is for 395, and then sideways, and then up. But again, this is just a pattern. We're not following it right here. We're not really following it right here. We're hitting the same levels, but it's a different pattern. Meaning that this thing could just go up right here, come back and meet the same level, 420, and then, you know, come back down again, right? And it's just an average, really. I mean, this is a moving average, so. Could be it, man. Could be that bottom. And then you guys can kind of forecast here the whole moving average would start doing something like this. You know, comes back down, gets tested right here for a clean break before it starts coming up again, right? Doing something like that, you know? And then what this would indicate is that this pattern, and I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I kind of want to see what this would do. You know, we would like maybe come back up here, come back down again, test the whole moving average. It's gonna be volatile, man. One way or another. I mean, the melt up, I believe there's gonna be a melt up. Okay, I don't think we're gonna have a crash anytime soon. And the melt up can still be, you know, setting up to melt up later in the year, you know, followed by this sideways pressure and then have a melt up, right? It doesn't have to happen right away. All right, Amy, loving it, loving this. It's almost 1 o'clock. See our little rectangles here. How are they doing? Okay, we got a point of interest right here. Let's see what happens. It's the first point of interest we have. Track it. See if it plays out. You're scared, bro? Why? Don't be scared, bro. Bro, you know, at the end of the day, we are in this together, alright? You're not alone. That's the thing about Amy, okay? There's a bunch of people in on this that are, you know, we're up here, man, through the ups and downs. We really are sharing this experience, you know, and it'll pay off eventually. You know, it's been going on for over a year, guys. We're gonna have a story to fucking tell once this thing is over. For sure. You're gonna be, you know, telling your fucking kids and the current kids that you have, your grandkids, whatever, your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your dog, that you fucking made it and you waited fucking years for it. Bro. This will never happen again. All right, it will never happen again. We have this. This is the opportunity that, you know, we have. And, bro, it's the thing, man. Once this thing goes down and the entire market finds out what the fuck has been happening, why it happened, the SEC will make sure of it. You know, right now they're stalling. They're fucking stalling, and they're gonna keep stalling until whatever the fuck, you know, that until people start to realize, and you know, once the agenda gets closer and closer to that squeeze date, that's when they'll start talking about it, and they'll be like, "Yep, we've been doing this. I told you so." Blah blah blah. They're gonna gaslight you guys, and I'm waiting for that shit. They're gonna gaslight us hard. It's gonna happen. Very likely that it's going to happen. But we are in the sugar coating phase, is what it is, where they just kind of ignore the situation and, you know, hope for people to just kind of like forget about it in the short term, and then they'll bring it up, right? They'll bring the price action up, and then they'll be like, "I told you so." Probably what's gonna happen. All right, point of interest coming up here. We'll give it about 10 minutes on this box. All right, we might start to get a reversal here. We'll see. Do you guys see this, by the way? See how it's like gliding right above it? Okay, so you can tell right here. It's like in it, crosses through, goes, comes back into the channel, and right now it's gliding through it. So will it go up or will it come back down? Double bottom. Could potentially go here. See, Amy's point of interest has everything to do with this too, by the way. So we might get that volatility spike right here. Did just get a very nasty green candle. How they're suppressing the price? Nobody knows, bro. Dark pools. The little bars pattern. It almost seems like this is playing out inverse completely on this current point of interest. Yeah. Look at that shit. Right here, inverse, and potential upside here. Right up here, maybe. We'll see. volatile. When hot tub stream, yeah. I gotta get on Twitch, man. I definitely gotta get on Twitch. We'll rally, man. We'll definitely help play some. Like if we start to guys. By the way, I am gonna stream the earnings call, so make sure you're here for that. It's gonna be at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure, yeah, you guys come in and chill. We're gonna fucking do it. Do it on here, and then we're gonna rally it up. Potentially, hopefully, right? All right, so no volatility yet. Potential. I mean, it is 1 o'clock. We might start to get it here in the next couple minutes. SPY is bouncing off of this whole average, which is good. Amy's going up. Well, the SPY is... Oh, SPY's just chilling. But Amy's not doing much. Let's see. Alright, so I think the SPY wants a little bit more downside. Might complete its double bottom at 3. Or it might go to that fib level we were talking about, which is 490, 496, or 496, sorry, 396. If it does continue to come back down, I think Amy's had a pretty beat down here. If the SPY does come down there, you know, very quickly, I would say that would be a zone I would be looking at. But if not, then we would get this double bottom and this thing would just start to go here. Yeah, very, very volatile. Okay. Alrighty. All right, so this point of interest is, again, we'll give it a couple more minutes, but right now we don't have anything playing out right here. So we do have, here is the bars pattern that we were looking at, identical. And we see this playing out inverse right here, okay? This one, we were tracking this point of interest right here, but it might not have been as volatile. In fact, what seems to be the trend here is that the ones that are tracking a little bit more are the upsides anyways. This one was noise. It could potentially happen right around here in the middle, but we'll give it a little bit of time here. See what it decides. Okay. Hey guys, we are going to take just a small break here. I'm going to come back on the last 30 minutes of the market. So in about an hour and a half, I will be back here. Make sure you're back and ready for that earnings call, because we're going to be here basically until the earnings call is over, which is going to be a couple hours. So I will see you guys then. Go walk your dog. Go love your girlfriend, your wife, your boyfriend. All right. I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.